in time. Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Experience. This is a Minute to Skim It, which usually stars me, Miss Jen, and Miss Hanna. But today, we had Chaos Reign Supreme in our book arrival, because we had our free comic book day books in, which should be at your local comic shops also. But just beware, don't go bug them for them, no matter how awesome they seem. They're not coming out until August the 14th, so put that date down on your calendar. Pay attention to what your local comic shop is doing on that day. Support them. It's the first real bit of joy they're going to have in almost 2 years. So go and support whatever charity they're trying to raise money for, or give blood to their blood bank, or just throw money at them because they would really love it, because they love supporting you and your community. Support them right back, because they spent a bunch of cheddar on those free comic book day books because they're not free to them. So just know they love you so much, they will buy books to give away to you once a year to the tune of thousands of dollars, because they love you that much. Love them back. Give them a really good Google review, or just go and give them some positive words of reinforcement to their faces. They would love it a lot. Hey, Michael.
Give them all the air hugs from the
Give them the air hugs. Well, the thing that you probably don't know is that most comic book store retailers and owners, we work on just positive reinforcement. That is really just like, hey, we like what you do. Thanks. Keep doing it. That's all we really need. Strange but true.
Spread the love.
Spread the love. Spread the love. All right, here we go. Minute to Skim It is a spoiler-free review show, so don't worry, I'm not going to spoil books for you, but I am going to tell you enough to get you the information you need to be able to put them on your list for Wednesday, so you can get the books you need and not miss out on the hot stuff, or just things that you think would be fun to read. There are some ridiculous books today, by the way. If you hear voices behind the scenes, it is Miss Hanna and Miss Jenna.
Hi!
They're my compadres in comic crime.
How you doing?
Yeah. You have no idea what we were talking about right before the show, but it would blow your mind. Anyway, Heavy Metal has a really great book coming out called Black Beacon. It's kind of a trippy tale. It appears that there is a human that shows up in a very not human world. Most of the creatures that live there seem like they're related to grubs and worms, which is kind of cool. There's great character design in the creatures that are there, a bunch of cool creature designs. And it appears that they were asked to come to this world to kind of like seek solitude or peace or enlightenment or spiritual oneness or whatever. But the problem is that when this first one arrives, they're told, see, we did invite you, but you have to have this cosmic plate in order to stay, and they're all taken, and there's no more room. Sucks to be you. So you're wondering about the Black Beacon. This one human being actually finds this Black Beacon during the book. Now, what the Black Beacon does for him, because it's not a cosmic plate or whatever they needed to be able to stay in there. So we'll find out what the Black Beacon's going to do for them.
I don't know why, but I really expected you to say Hoover and not suck. So when you said it sucks to be you, I was like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute. I thought it was Hoover.
So this is part of the really awesome Heavy Metal Elements line, which is a little bit awesome, wackadoo goodness.
Hoover is a brand of vacuum. I know, but all I went to is the...
This is one of Jenna's favorite companies of all time, Zenescope.
Yeah.
Zenescope. This book is called Possessive #1. So, long story short, this dude right here is dealing with an alcohol problem, which he is definitely in denial about. He tells his family he's not drinking, and he tells his kids when he goes to pick them up that he and his spouse are separated. When he goes to pick up the kids, they're like, "Daddy, you smell," and he's like, "It's aftershave," when he just had a drink in the car. What I'm trying to say by this is he is an A-class loser. And he, for some reason, has decided to buy this old house that's in this picture right here and fix it up, even though he can't stay sober for longer than 2 seconds. And have his family move in there. So I'm sure you can figure out by the name of the book, The House is Haunted. But the funny thing about it is that he doesn't notice, at least for the first half of the book, because he's so drunk. People die in his house. People that he has to come help die in his house. He doesn't notice because he's too drunk.
That sounds like Zenoscope through and through.
So I guess Zenoscope's teaching us the lesson here. If you're going to buy a haunted house, just stay drunk. You'll never notice.
AKA relaxed body.
Relaxed body, I guess. That's not really the lesson. Please don't take that as the lesson.
No. I do not help with the urban social things. No.
Kyle, drop a quick President Hoover fact. He knows all the things about all the presidents.
Exactly. That's why I told him, because he said Hoover. If she thought I was talking about President Hoover, I was talking about the vacuum.
I'm sure he's thinking about which of the 50,000 facts about President Hoover that I know shall I type in?
I guess I have a quick question. Does he really have a whole dam named after him? Yeah.
Yes, he does. It's a great dam. It's fantastic.
I've never been.
You never been to the Hoover Dam?
No, I've even been there.
Oh my lords!
Well, kind of.
Fun fact: we went on vacation there when the boys were young, and my husband, who obviously did not glom into the fact that I have horrible vertigo, especially when it comes to my own children and dangerous situations that are up high, had one of our sons on his shoulders and was leaning him out over the dam and making me lose my mind. Most of that vacation I spent crying because we were all in high spaces that I couldn't handle my kids being in. We went like the Grand Canyon. Hoover was a Quaker. He was the only president who was a Quaker.
Oh, sorry, what's a Quaker?
What's Quaker? It's a religious sect. Kind of, they would be kind of like
Do the Google.
Look it up. Like
look it up real quick.
Amish-ish. They make oatmeal. Ha ha. All right. Here is the last book you'll ever read by our good friend Cullen Bunn. This is crazy. This is nuts. You know when you read a book and you're like going, I have no idea how in the world they came up with this. That's kind of the way I felt when I was reading The Black Beacon. I was like that. They have to really been going just deep into their subconscious for craziness. It's barely. Oh.
According to the radar, this isn't even the hard part of the story.
Oh, great. We're going to die during this.
Yay, flooding. That's okay. I know how to swim.
So this one is like that. So the premise of this book is the lady that's on the front cover has written a book that appears to make people very violent, even though the book itself doesn't call for people to be violent. That thunder's calling for violence.
I was about to say, God, it feels like I should have woke up and chose violence.
All right, I'll get close to the microphone because that's really loud. All right.
Thor was mad because he wasn't in the movie at all.
It was yeah. Well, there's actually a book with some of those characters in it today. So this one gets all kinds of creepy really fast as she has a signing at a bookstore and one of the people in line attacks her and tries to kill her and attacks one of the security guards. There is another gentleman that's key in this book. It's a really kind of creepy, scary book, the kind you would expect very much from Cullen Bunn. And this one is going to be a super hot book this week. So if you're just kind of thinking about maybe I'll try it, this is definitely one you should call ahead and make sure that there are enough copies that you can get it put into your poll. This one's amazing. And it does have, this is the art style. If you're wondering what the art style inside the book is, it is not a lie, the cover. It is exactly like that. It's very early for the last book. What do you want me to do that in the very end? Should I have done that at the very last one?
What's that?
I should just stop now, right? That was the last book. We're done. It didn't say it was the last book you'll ever read, just for me. All right. Dune, the Blood of the Sardaukar. So this is a tale that, I know, this is a tale that happens in the Dune universe that the Boom has been doing recently. And this one focuses in on a Sardaukar, they're like a soldier, and tells a back history that has ties to the Atreides family.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Hello, and we're back. For how long? I don't know. We're in the big, gigantic storm. So if you wonder why that happened, is the internet went down, and so you have to wait for the entire system to reboot. So that's what's happening. Okay, so let's get going. So Dune, if you like stories set in the middle of the Dune universe from the point of view of soldiers, the Sardaukar, sorry, I misspelled it. Sardaukar it says on there, but this is Sardaukar. And it's kind of eye-opening. It's this character becomes what he is
Today's comics market is ripe with new titles by creators who are determined to get their books into your hands. My name is Henri Compen. For the last decade, I've been making and selling my own creator-owned comics and dealing as a collector in live sales. My signature series, Yi Sun Shin, is the book that cannot be defeated in battle and has over 250,000 copies in print. Now I'm taking comics to the next level and laying the groundwork for my fellow creators to get their voices heard so they can connect directly with you. This is your chance to engage live with top comic book talent and get your comics signed without having to wait in long lines or pay any fees. But remember, we only have a limited amount of their books in stock, so always remember to call it as you see it.
What's up, the internet? It's Kyle. I'm the one who sits here and clicks the buttons and presses the things for Miss Jen's show. They are experiencing really bad storms, like Christopher was saying in the comments. Figured with the storms. It's a thing. The sky is falling, but we must persist is the latest text I have from Miss Jen. So she will be back in just a minute. But in the meantime, I wanted to tell you guys about some things. One, Thursday, from 6 to 7 Eastern Standard Time, which would be 5 to 6 Central Time, 4 to 5 Mountain Time, and 3 to 4 out there on the Pacific Coast, is our 1,000th episode. We're doing something special that we're going to announce tomorrow during the Dan Wickline show. So that'll be fun. We'll announce that tomorrow during the Dan Wickline show. I'm not even sure Dan knows he's announcing it yet. But that's a thing that's happening, our 1,000th show. And then in August, we've run a spot for it a bunch of times, is our 6-month anniversary here at The Experience. We're planning big things for that as well. If there are people in the comic book field, comic book industry, pop culture, that you'd like to see us talk to, please, please, please reach out. Send us a message on Facebook. Reach out through the website. There is a way to contact us through the website. Reach out through all of those places, and we will check into that. Miss Jen should be back any minute. Her computer and internet are rebooting, which is super fun. But I figured I'd come on and talk to you guys for a minute while we waited for that. So previous to this, we had the Dan Wickline show, or we had BCU with John Jennings and Imani interviewed John Jennings and his partner. Previous to that, we had the Dan Wickline show where he talked to Kevin Joseph. And then coming up after the show, it's Dan and I doing a show called In Stores This Week, where we talk about the books that are on our pull lists that are coming out this week. So you'll get more of this kind of content coming up here in just about 30 minutes time if we can't get Miss Jen back on the air. But she's on her way, I promise. Tomorrow we have the Dan Wickline show, and then Comics Collectibles with Rex and the Not Nicks. It's our friend Rex from Dynamic Forces, bringing you great Dynamic Forces collectibles. There'll be some slabs. There'll be some other fun stuff. Let me see what he sent me. Slabs, limited edition remarks, and of course, as always, CG or signed books from Dynamic Forces. Following that is Kicking It with Henri and Kevin, our newest sales show here on The Experience. So Kicking It with Henri and Kevin is tomorrow as well. So that's 5 to 5. We start at 5. We end at 10 Eastern time. So Thursday, we'll have an interview with Josh Trujillo, who was the writer of issue 1 of the United States of Captain America, issue 2 in stores this week. And he got to create a Captain America, so we talk about that. We talk a little bit about inclusion in comics. We talk about all of those kind of things. That will air from 5 to 6. Then we'll have our 1000th episode. And then Miss Jen will be back, hopefully without the power problems, on Thursday for the show that has my favorite title and tries to answer my favorite existential question. What's in the box? So, you have that. You have that's the next couple of days here on the experience. And Miss Jen's back. So I can stop ad-libbing and I can...
All right, turn it down. Okay. Hello, everybody, and I'm back. I can't promise it's going to stay. We had that big flash you saw was a lightning strike, and then all the power in the entire center just went push, which means everything has to reboot, including the Wi-Fi. So let's do a review. We can fit it in here. We have a whole half an hour still. Yo. There is a new series of Nightmare Before Christmas called Mirror Moon, in which it looks like Jack has a wild idea to try to... He has a dream that inspires this, but he has this idea to have even more Halloween decorations appear by making a giant mirror, and then tasks Sally with all the preparations for Halloween, which seems like a crazy amount of work, right? So adorable as always. Jump in. It's hard to find them once they are out for a little while, so it's by Tokyo Pop, so make sure your local comic shop knows you want Mirror Moon. All right, no lie, I'm pretty sure this series just exists so that you can have scantily clad women with their tops mostly off. Patriotica United, no lie. I read the first series, and it basically presents the idea that one of them's a goddess, but then there's multiple people in this book in which they share the powers of the goddess, and just like separate them as people. I have no idea. This one is really crazy. It's beautifully drawn, but those women could not stand upright if their area was that large. There's no way, and you certainly couldn't fight. So anyway, sometimes things are just pretty and don't make sense in reality. If you want some beautiful art with gorgeous ladies in it, Patriotica United. There's a couple covers that are really nice. All right, I got a little confused when I read Mirka Andolfo's Sweet Paprika because it looks to be kind of tied to not the most recent book she's done, because that one's Eros, but the one before that, what was the one with the... Unsacred?
Yeah, but I thought that was a different person.
I don't know. The story is...
Maria Lovett does Eros Psyche.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So anyway, so I'm sure Mirka Andolfo does the other one, the Unsacred.
Yeah.
So related to Unsacred, it has a whole bunch of adult situations between devils and angels, and devils and devils, and angels and angels.
But never humans.
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe, who knows? But anyway, it's a really gorgeously drawn, but it really is following around different characters in this universe, in which it just looks like the whole purpose of life is to have romantic situations. Do not leave it around for your kids, because they won't have any more questions about, the birds or the bees anymore if they get this book. So anyway, there's a gorgeous covers. Just know that there are no cover A's at your local comic shop at all, because cover A is still at the printer and will be in your stores next week's boxes. So don't yell at them. Don't tell them they're lying liars. They're not. They don't have any cover A's. You can get the rest of them this week, but you have to wait for next week for the cover A's that are being printed, or they had some kind of printing error or some crazy. This is the Artgerm cover, though, isn't it pretty?
It's so pretty.
It's pretty. All right. I picked up this book thinking, how in the world can you have Gru meeting Tarzan? And as far as I can tell, I read this book and I didn't read all the way to the end because of time. I ran out, but I didn't see a point in which they interacted with each other. It looks like Gru's story goes for a while, and then they inserted a Tarzan story, and then some more Gru story, and then some Tarzan story. I'm sure they must connect at the end. It doesn't make any sense for them to name it Gru meets Tarzan unless it happens. But the really fun part is that the Gru parts that start out are going to make you very nostalgic for the con we all totally missed this last weekend, San Diego Comic-Con, unless you did the con online. So it takes place at Comic-Con for the first however much. It's really, you know how he is, super detailed, right? When he draws out pages, Sergio. And so you'll feel like you're there. It has all the banners. Like if you look, there's a whole double page spread where you can actually see where all the booths normally sit. It's like you could tell he was missing Comic-Con when he wrote this book.
It's so funny. Every time I hear about him, I always think of that episode in Futurama where he shows up and Fry's all like, do you want to check out my book? And he's like, anybody who still draws as a hero, this is bad. He's like,
Oh, no.
I love your mustache. You can have it. And then Fry just rips off his mustache.
Oh, my word. If you've never seen Sergio Aragones in real life, you're in for a treat. He looks like a real life cartoon character. And he sounds like one, too. He's amazing.
He looks
I love him.
more normal in the cartoon Futurama than he does in real life.
So if you're a fan of Gru or the classic Tarzan as drawn by Mark Evanier and Thomas Yates, it's a true Edgar Rice Burroughs Tarzan. And I'm sure they get together at the end and it's amazing.
And what's weird with the whole thing is he was just a head in a jar and he still looked more...
Oh, that's right. The whole shtick about heads in jars, man.
Yes, because if you wanted to be in the future, it was your head in a jar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the annual for 2021, is a huge, thick book. It is not quite prestige format, but it's really, really close. And it looks like a whole new giant storyline. I think it's called Armageddon. Hold on. That it sets up. I can't show you, but I can tell you things. It's not spoilery. I can't imagine it's spoilery. Oh my goodness. So many cool ads for things in the back. Armageddon is the word. So it looks like we've got a bunch of baddies getting together and setting up a whole new storyline. So, and probably new characters. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been really good. Most recently, they had like a Battle of the Bands for Power of the City. Remember everybody? There's no humans anymore. Everyone's been morphed into some kind of creature, human hybrid, just like the Turtles are. And so that's kind of where the storyline is. And this hits on right there. Department of Truth, number 11. I just mostly brought this. I'm going to tell you about the Department of Truth number 11, but also a reminder that Department of Truth number 1 is in its 6th and final print this week. So the print that you see at your local comic shops on Wednesday is the last time you'll have availability to get a new number 1. And then after that, I guess you're just going to have to like pay up for a different print that exists already because you can't get them anymore. So
It's the
heads up.
Printing to do.
Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of stuff that's gone to final print. Stray Dogs is also in its final print. It doesn't release this week, but just be aware that when it comes out next, that's going to be it. So when those run out, if your shop is like mine, we have 0 copies of Stray Dogs. That's a 0 with a 0.00. We have none. So when we get those prints in, when those go, it'll be done. So you'll wait for your trade paperback, which you support you should support the trade paperback because it's totally worth having. You need to have that on your shelf. Oh yeah. All right, this is Department of Truth number 11. In the last issue, it was focusing in on the conspiracy of Bigfoot. The one character has been obsessed with Bigfoot, which means that it creates problems for the Department of Truth because it creates Bigfoot, right? So in this one, it continues on this story, and they figure out a way to have a resolution to it, which in this case, will you get to see a Bigfoot? Yes, you will. So don't miss out. This arc will finish, and then it starts working on a new conspiracy to focus on. So it's a good place to finish up and then start for the next arc for Department of Truth. Every single issue has been really, really good. You know that if I'm reading issue number 11 for the review show, it's been an amazing series. Add that to your polls. Goodness gracious. And it's also James Tynion. Congratulations, James Tynion, on your multi-Eisner Award win. He is the writer of the year. Best writer of the year.
Yay.
For his work on Department of Truth, Wind. Oh my goodness.
Batman.
Yeah, Batman. There's everything.
A lot.
Everything. All the things. He's writing it all.
The thing, he's writing it.
All right. A book I did not get to read, but I pulled aside for myself to read just as a reminder. This is Barbaric number 2. This is that vault book that has the main character, which is a barbarian or a berserker. He will deny both of those monikers, but he carries around this bloodthirsty axe that is alive and really just wants to eat blood. So he gets him, he kind of like eggs him on. So I mean, it's different than having Mjolnir, right? Which will come back to you, but I mean, at least if you're bored, you have someone to talk to for him.
Yeah, but wouldn't like the main conversation be like, hey, let's go kill him.
You know what? You know what would be fun?
Let's go
Whacking people's brains.
Can we say that?
I don't know. You can say anything, but if you type it, you get in trouble. We had a situation this last week where we were playing a game where we were doing movie quotes and TV quotes, and someone typed in a quote that got them banned from Facebook because Facebook didn't understand we were just playing the quote game.
My gosh.
So be careful. Yeah, just be careful when you type because they're being serious about shutting stuff down. All right, Berserker number 4. So excited. This one still continues to be amazing. I can't wait to see it on the screen. So in this one, the main character, I think his name is like Uru or something. I can't ever remember his name. It starts with a U, and it's horrible because I can't remember his name. But we'll just call him Berserker. They are still trying to get information from him to find out his back history. I think they figured out at this point that he doesn't know how he was made necessarily. He does not have a talking foot. That they think they might be able to find out the source of everything by getting to the very beginning of what he can remember. And so you get to go back. The last couple issues have focused in on his early life with his mother and his father. And the last issue, you found out his mom had gone to this special like sacred cave and prayed for him to receive specific things. And his dad's very angry about that. And it appears that she has some kind of helmet or something that she is ready to present. And that gets thrown down the well. Now, the question that remains is it still there? And is it important? Is it important? I don't know. But this will give you lots more revelations about the mysteries of the fact that he can never die. You're going to kind of get your mind blown a little bit. It's a little bit different than I thought about the him never dying part. So enjoy Berserker by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kent.
Kid's been on fire lately.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I've got some awesome Scout books. This one's a Black Caravan book called Gods of Brutality. This one is just gonna make you so happy to read. I'm telling you right now. So it is actually about this main character here who's drinking. He is actually a rock and roller who, when you meet him in this book, is doing his very last show and is come off the stage and is going to the back to get his last interview. And he seems very certain that he needs to finish this interview within a half an hour because something's going to happen. You're like, what's going to happen? And what you find out is that he, there's some stuff you don't know. I'm just like, there's some stuff that you don't know that I'm sure is going to be revealed in the second issue. But the basic story that's going on is that he ends up in heck before the rock and roll career, ends up in heck and finds himself in a part of heck in which he and the other people that are chained there are getting eaten by demons.
So
It's like he's a retina. He's like, it's a restaurant, but he's the food.
Oh, okay.
And-
I can see that happening.
And while he's hanging there on the wall, he prays to God and Odin and Zeus
Anything you can
and
think of.
Ronald McDonald and whatever. He does not want to get eaten. So, unbeknownst to him, some of those gods are actually listening and send people down. When you find out who he sends down, then you're going to understand the Gods of Brutality story title. This is amazing. It's like another one of those books I was talking about this week. You're like going, who in the world thought this up? This is like truly like someone had a dream. They woke up like that didn't make any sense. I should write a book about it.
What's so crazy
Because it does make sense in the
It
end.
reminds me of a video game they did back on the Xbox 360 with Jack Black. It was, oh God, what was the name of the book? What was the name of the game? So Jack Black was a roadie, and he ended up getting killed, but he wasn't actually killed because the stage fell apart because the musicians were idiots and they were like jumping all over it, and it fell apart and it crushed him. But he didn't actually get killed. He got transported to another universe that had like demons and stuff, and like monster god Odin, but it also had like speakers coming out of the ground. And it had
That sounds trippy.
Yeah, it had like monster garages that Ozzy Osbourne as the god of metal was down there waiting. Like it reminds me of that because he's like, okay. And like, oh, you gotta pray to make this giant, not actually sexy demon nun walk.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, okay, great sky beasts. So let's go.
That's Jenna. She's not on shrooms. She's just talking about an actual video game.
I wish I could remember what it was. It's Jack Black is the main person in it, and Ozzy Osbourne. And
Someone
Lawrence.
say who it is.
Ah.
All right, this one is Locust number 2. Remember, Scout is doing this crazy fun thing where they put out issue number 1, and then you have 2 months in between, so you have a chance to get it to your pull box.
Brutal Legend. Sorry.
Brutal Legend. There you go. And so it's been 2 months since you've seen Locust number 1. Do not worry. That was by design. Locust number 2 is out. The best way to understand this series is that instead of zombies, people all turned into giant locusts. And so this is this main character right here trying to make his way through the brand new carnage that there is going on he has his older mom with him, and also is trying to get together with somebody else that seems like they've got some real know-how. But then there's like, it gives you a little bit more about what the locusts are about. This is scary, man. I don't want to turn into a giant locust. I'm just saying. Again, not for kids. Very scary. Spooky spooks.
They look hungry.
They are very hungry. Ugh. And one of them turns directly from a human into a locust in front of you in this book, and it's scary. Is it Tenacious D and the Puck of Destiny?
No, look it up. It's some of the most fun I've ever had playing a video. It was weird. So weird. Because they had like emo punk, They had like Pretty Punk. They had like the 70s glam rockers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Pleasure Palace. Yeah, things.
Mm-hmm. Right. I read a lot today since I was the sole reader today. So I'm going to look real fast. My goodness. My brain hurts from remembering. Oh, this one was the trippy cool one. All right. I love this one. Okay. So this one is No Ghost in Hiroshima. So the main character, who's right here. He looks like he's on fire back here, but he just looks normal in the book. He finds himself asking the existential question of, is it a mortal sin to want to do yourself in to go to heck? If what you're wanting to do there has purpose, like you're trying to rescue somebody or you want to change some wrong.
So, okay, I'm just trying to follow you. So
So
he's
the
trying to
mortal-
wonder if killing himself is not a bad
Not a
thing
mortal
if
sin.
He's going to save someone?
Right.
So it's like a self-sacrifice.
Yeah. Kind of like there's a book called Shepherd in which a father believes that his son who died of an overdose is needing him on the other side. So he actually does cross over. So that's a great book, by the way. So in this one, this man, I think we're starting in the middle of the story, but we don't know it. I think he's already done it, but is then asking for absolution because he's basically doing it as he's talking to a priest in a Catholic church. So doing confessional. So I think he's already done it, but isn't saying that he has. But anyway, the reason why I think this is because immediately afterwards, it starts to look like part of his skin is on fire. So he goes into the hospital looking like he has burns. But I think that's really because he's already crossed over to heck.
That would sound right.
Yeah. And while he's there, he has this mysterious kind of like case that he hands off to somebody else that is known to him. It's not like a stranger, and sends them off on an errand to get that somewhere. Okay. The No Ghost in Hiroshima line, well, it's a spoiler for me to tell you anything about why that means anything, but the items that are in the box are mind-blowing, and I know that they're going to go through and tell us why all those things are in the box, but it's wait till you see the list of things. It's crazy cool. Crazy cool. That's not in the box. So No Ghost in Hiroshima is amazing, and it's not like anything else. There's a lot of books out this week that you're not going to sit there and go, oh man, this is just like that other book I read. Nope.
What's in the case?
Okay, this one is a lot of fun. I did not know what this one was going to be. This is done by Kyle Andrews, and it says science fiction on it, which is funny. So this is Marvel Comics Amazing Fantasy #1. So this is takes a bunch of tales and intertwines them together. You kind of feel as you go through the stories, they're more and more obvious how they're tying, but it deals with Captain America. I guess he's riding a lion. I would tell you that doesn't happen in this book, but it probably does.
I mean, sure, why not? I don't.
I'm not gonna ruin it for you. So it's him, Spidey, and who's the third one that's big into this book? Each story has its own art style, is very different. Yep, Cap. Oh, Black Widow. Oh, the Black Widow storyline that ties in is so good. Oh, my words. I wish I could show you some of this art because the art is so spectacular. Yep, and Spidey. And then it all comes together at the end, but does not end. So it does leave you in a cliffhanger. If you like those characters, but you want to hear them, or you want to see them put into this probably can't happen in the regular Marvel universe, kind of what if-ness, this is really good. Usually I think about these kind of books as like, why would I want to add another thing to my pull box? This is cool stuff. All right, Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads. This one is a crazy cool tale about there's a mysterious, I would say just magician, but he's a magic user who gets enlisted by another mysterious character that you don't see until later on in the book, so I can't spoil that for you. gets enlisted to steal this moonstone from, I'm guessing it's a museum. And symbiote Spider-Man gets inside information from his girlfriend. Do you guys know who his girlfriend is? Last name Hardy. Black Cat. Black Cat has been feeding him information. Actually, the book actually opens up with him using information from her to actually save somebody who is so funny. If you love J. Jonah Jameson and his like completely ridiculous shenanigans, you're going to laugh so hard at the beginning of this book. It involves fake mustaches and demaskings like Scooby-Doo. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. Really cool. Fits right into the universe. Fun read. Fun.
Look at that.
So cool.
You read all the stuff and you did all the reviews.
I did. I got plenty of time. So I'm going to show you the trades that you should be looking out for today, or this week, sorry. The Gwenom versus Carnage, King in Black, comes out. Rain Like Hammers, which is a very sweet series. It will keep you completely from stressing out and calm you right down. It is basically told in far future. Looks like a slice of life. It's so cute. Do you remember reading this one?
No,
Oh, you would love it.
I didn't get to read it.
You would love it. Shang-Chi also, if you want to pick up a great way to get into the universe, this is called Brothers and Sisters. This is a volume 1 book. Shang-Chi and a Cloak of Silence. She was around the corner like doing something on her computer. Doing something. Doc Afra volume 4 is new this week. But there's important stuff. Oh yeah, sorry. I Am Not Starfire is out this week. And be sure to pick up this week also. It's time to start circling the things you want, just like in the Montgomery Ward catalog. This one is the DC Connect. Fun fact, DC decided to no longer print DC Connect and only do it digitally, and tried that for 3 or 4 months and then realized people want to have the printed book. So thanks everyone for your feedback and getting it printed again. I also think it needs to be printed.
I think so too.
And the new previews, yo!
I'm so excited.
Okay, so it's like a flip book. It has advertisements for a brand new Star Trek series called Mirror War. Do you remember Mirror? And Gunslinger Spawn. A reminder to add all the new Spawn universe books to your poll, like Gunslinger, Scorched, and I can't remember the third one. King Spawn, yeah, King Spawn.
And then Universe was a one-shot,
Mm-hmm.
but there will be a second printing of that one.
Yep.
Joke.
It's previews from Diamond. That's right. And inside it is still the awesome Marvel insert. Did I just reference Montgomery Ward? I sure did. So probably 3 people in the audience understand that. It's probably not that bad. All right, everybody. Thank you for putting up with our chaosy weather and the loss of power. Hopefully we won't have that again today.
I think that's crazy. You still got through everything and had time.
I
left
did.
over.
I
Just
did.
Lost 10 minutes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You heard rumors that Marvel is severing ties with Diamond. Marvel's not severing ties with Diamond. It is moving its primary operations to primary distribution to Penguin Random House, but Diamond is still going to be offering it as like a sub distribution. So nope, it'll still be at Diamond. That is straight from people that actually know, not the rumor mill, I promise. Interesting, yeah. All right, everybody, we will see you guys next week for Minute to Skim It. I hope you enjoyed it. Secondary distributor. Thank you, Brainy. I was trying to think of what the words were. Make sure you connect with your local comic shop. Use Comic Shop Locator if you're away from your home shop. And we're visiting shops, like people were visiting my shop today up until the sky opened up. And go show them some love this week and find out what they're doing for local comic shop day with free comic book shop day, and see if you can figure out how you can help them out with that. All right, everybody, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.